from the little perspective I've had through these years and working with several good practitioners, it feels like most techniques, muscle energy derived from or most similar to or have a basis in muscle energy, neuromyofascial release first and foremost, muscle energy techniques, and articulatory techniques. And everything else I think and feel are a derivative of that. So it's basically neuromyofascial techniques, other soft tissue and muscle energy techniques, plus articulatory techniques. Okay? So, included in your neuromyofascial would be yung dating sinasabi natin na neuromuscular techniques, neuromuscular conditioning techniques, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation or conditioning techniques. It's all there. If you can teach the body a certain way to respond, if you could indicate to the body, here's where you need to make a certain change, you create a repatterning, and the movement techniques are strongly neuromuscular reconditioning, strongly proprioceptively reconditioning. You're ingraining a new pattern or a re-knowing of an old pattern which is proper. Okay? So you kill an old pattern, you restart a new pattern, you re-ingrain that pattern. So that's still under that, neuromyofascial reconditioning. Plus, the facilitative techniques, facilitatory oscillatory releases, your positional releases, okay? These seem as a group of soft tissue techniques to be part of the same banana, which is neuromyofascial release techniques and repatterning. Okay? Plus, other end of the spectrum, after going superficial to deep, you definitely have your neuromyofascial techniques, your muscle energy, direct, indirect, and whatever version you have of that, plus including the palpatory skills that help it develop into a positional release or facilitatory release technique, plus a multiplanar stackings for passive releases or indirect releases. Next, along the spectrum, going deeper, would in fact be articulatory techniques. Understanding that osteopathic articulatory techniques seem to be the basis for anything and everything only because of the length of time they've been around. Okay? Also specifying that not everything has to be an HPLA. And in fact, you can achieve exceptionally good results with a supremely passive articulatory technique than forcing it full way with a strong HPLA. Okay? After all, here's an argument that I've heard from some people. HPLAs, you often get a click. Not always. It's not necessary, but often you do. Okay. Here's the thing. When you first had the sacral malalignment, was there a click? Why is there supposed to be a click when you put it back? Which to me leads to the notion that it had to be forced. And in fact, that's what we do. We force it beyond paraphysiologic, as Professor Mohanty says. Okay? You go beyond this. Mulligan's Mobs, how to Born's rules. You go beyond this level so you can go back to this normal level. You push beyond. And it's push. Okay? And you don't always have to push to achieve good results. The reverse is true. You could go completely indirect, but it's a position of ease for everything.
Drawer concept.
Rather than, jarringly forcing it into place, if you could find the way so that it all fits together, the body releases itself. It's a brilliant design by a brilliant creator or a brilliant maker or whatever your notion of that is, but this design is impossible without an organizing intelligence is my understanding, and that works for our advantage. If we could figure out what the patterns are that have been given, we can figure out a way around it. So, by example, at that end of the spectrum for the articulatory techniques, you could go with Mulligan's mobilizations, you could go with standard orthopedic manipulative protocols, and you could go very small ranges. Then you could go slightly more exotic. You could go for articulatory, you could go positions of articulatory release which are indirect or passive. Rather than forcing something by a HBLA, if you brought segment by segment into where it happened to be at ease,